Good morning students. Today we are going to learn about glycolysis. Glycolysis is a process of glucose breakdown. The term glycolysis, the name glycolysis indicates glycolysis. Glyco means glucose, lysis means breakdown. So in glycolysis process we see the breakdown of glucose. Glucose is a 6 carbon compound. Glucose is a 6 carbon compound which is broken down to 3 carbon compound, that is pyruvate. So one glucose molecule will be broken down to 2 pyruvate molecules. So 6 carbon compound will be broken down to 3 carbon compounds, that is 2 pyruvates. So one glucose molecule will be broken down to 2 pyruvate molecules. So as it is a breakdown of glucose, it is said to be a catabolic process. It is said to be a catabolic process. What is meant by catabolic process? Catabolic process is a part of a metabolism. Metabolism is of two types, anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism is a formation of product. Catabolism is a breakdown of any product. So here catabolic process, example for this catabolic process is glycolysis. See, this glycolysis will be taking place in cytosol, means cytoplasm of the cell. Glycolysis process takes place in the cytosol of cell. Each and every cell carry out this glycolysis process. The food we take contains glucose, and this glucose is broken down to give us energy in the form of ATP. Okay, so glucose is broken down to pyruvate in glycolysis process. So this glucose can be broken down to pyruvate in the presence of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen. So this pyruvate, after forming this in the presence of oxygen, means in aerobic conditions, it forms acetyl CoA. In aerobic conditions, pyruvate will be forming acetyl CoA. Later this acetyl CoA enters into the TCA cycle. So this happens in the presence of oxygen. Okay. So in the absence of oxygen, in the cases where oxygen is absent, we call that condition as an aerobic condition. So in the absence of oxygen, this pyruvate may either form lactate or ethanol. So pyruvate will be forming lactate during vigorous exercise like conditions. Okay, and pyruvate will be forming ethanol in mostly yeast cells. In yeast cells, pyruvate will be converted to ethanol. So these two processes we will call it as a fermentation process. These two processes we call it as a fermentation process. So during aerobic condition, the pyruvate will be converted to acetyl CoA, and this acetyl CoA enters into the TCA cycle. During anaerobic conditions, it either forms lactate or ethanol. Ethanol is formed in the yeast cells and lactate is formed during vigorous exercise conditions. Okay, so this is about the glycolysis fate. Okay, so if you see this, glucose will be converted to pyruvate in the glycolysis process. So this conversion or breakdown of glucose to pyruvate involves 10 steps. The glucose will be converted to pyruvate in 10 steps. So we'll see those steps now. Okay. So glucose will be broken down to pyruvate in 10 steps. So the first step is glucose will be converted to glucose 6-phosphate in the presence of hexokinase enzyme. In the presence of hexokinase enzyme, glucose will be converted to glucose 6-phosphate. This phosphate will be taken from ATP. ATP donates one phosphate to glucose and forms ADP. So the glucose takes one phosphate from ATP, and the phosphate is attached to the 6th position, 6th carbon of glucose. Glucose is a 6 carbon compound. At 6th carbon the phosphate is attached. So we call this glucose as glucose 6 phosphate. So this reaction is catalyzed by hexokinase. This reaction is catalyzed by hexokinase. Second step, this is the first step. Coming to the second step, glucose 6 phosphate is catalyzed by phosphohexoisomerase to form fructose 6 phosphate. Glucose 6 phosphate is converted to fructose 6 phosphate by the enzyme phosphohexoisomerase. It is a reversible reaction. It is a reversible reaction. This is the second step. Coming to the third step, fructose 6 phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Fructose 6 phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate by the enzyme phosphofructokinase. Here another phosphate is added to the fructose 6 phosphate at the first carbon. So at the 6th carbon already phosphate is attached. At first carbon also second phosphate is attached. So we call this as bisphosphate. Biphosphate means two phosphates are attached at the first carbon and 6th carbon. So fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. So this phosphate at first carbon is received from ATP. So ATP donates one phosphate to this fructose 6 phosphate and forms ATP. Okay. So finally fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is formed. This is the third step. Coming to the fourth step, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate will be converted to two compounds, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This step will be forming two products, that is dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This is the fourth step, where in the presence of aldolase fructose 1,6-bisphosphate will be converted to dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. In the next step, dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. In these two, only glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate can move forward in the reaction. So dihydroxyacetone phosphate itself converts it into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, thus forming two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. In the presence of isomerase enzyme, this dihydroxyacetone phosphate converts to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So we see two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate in this step. Next, these two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted to two molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate in the presence of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. So here the enzyme, that is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, what it will do? It will remove two hydrogens from glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and donates to NADH to form NADH. So two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate donates one hydrogen, and here 2 NAD plus will be converted to 2 NADH. Okay. So here the final product in this step is two molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. So 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is formed here in the sixth step. So in the seventh step, this 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate will be converted to two molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate in the presence of phosphoglycerokinase. Here 2-ADP will be receiving a phosphate, means here 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate will be donating one phosphate to ADP, and two molecules, no? So two ADPs will be receiving two phosphates to form 2 ATP. Okay. So here first place phosphate will be donated to the ADP and forming ATP. So the enzyme phosphoglycerokinase will be catalyzing the reaction and it forms the ATP here. So finally 3-phosphoglycerate will be converted to 2-phosphoglycerate by the enzyme mutase. So at the third position, the phosphate group will be transferred to second position of glycerate. Phosphate group from third position of glycerate transfers to the second position of the phosphate by the enzyme mutase. So this 2-phosphoglycerate will be converted to 2-phosphoenol pyruvate by the enzyme enolase. Here enol group is formed in the phosphoenol pyruvate, so that there is a removal of 2 water molecules takes place in this reaction. Okay, next in the last step and in the 10th step, you see phosphoenol pyruvate will be converted to pyruvate, 2 molecules of pyruvate, which is a 3-carbon compound, by the enzyme pyruvate kinase. So in this step, phosphoenol pyruvate will be converted to pyruvate. Here the phosphate group is transferred to or donated to ADP to form ATP. So 2 phosphates are donated to 2 ADP and 2 ATP is formed. So finally the final product, that is 2 molecules of pyruvate is formed, which is a 3-carbon compound. So here in the, if you see the first 5 steps, this is the first step, second step, third step, fourth step, and this is the 5th step. So in the first 5 steps, if you see, there is a utilization of ATP. There is a utilization of ATP. ATP is utilized. So these first 5 steps we call it as energy utilization phase. Energy utilization phase. And next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This 6 to 10 steps, you see the energy generation. So ATP is generated in the 6 to 7 steps. So here this NADH is also forming ATP later in the electron transport system, and here and here and here you see the ATP is generated. So 6 to 10 steps the ATP is generated, and 1 to 5 steps ATP is utilized. So first 5 steps we call it as a energy utilization phase, and next 5 steps we call it as a energy generation phase. So total ATP produced in the glycolysis is counted, and in the for 1 glucose molecule there is a 7 ATP of net gain we see. So if you see in the first 5 steps, ATP utilized is 2 ATP. If you see here, 1 ATP here is utilized and second ATP. So 2 ATPs are utilized in 1 to 5 steps. Not only 1 to 5 steps, in total glycolysis process 2 ATP is utilized, means it is utilized. Next in 6 to 10 steps, you see the ATP is generated, that is a 4 ATP and 2 NADH is generated. In the total glycolysis process, if you see 2 ATPs are utilized, means it is utilized, and 4 ATP is generated, okay, and 2 NADH. 2 NADH means 1 NADH will be producing 2.5 ATP. So if 2 NADH means it will be producing 5 ATPs. Okay, so we can write it here, per NADH 5 ATP, 4 ATP and 2 ATP. So 5 plus 4, that is 9 ATP minus utilized, these are generated ATPs and 2 ATPs are utilized. So total of 7 ATPs are produced in one glycolysis process. Means one glucose, when it is converted to 2 molecules of pyruvate, produces 7 ATP molecules. 7 ATP molecules are produced in one glycolysis process.